Kevin Durant has truly done it all. I mean, he's had so many achievements in his career. But what if we change that? What if we reverse his entire NBA career in hoopland? And instead of starting with the OKC Thunder, he will be starting with the Houston Rockets. And even though he's ranked number 2 in the whole entire league, he's going to have to survive in one of the toughest era, which has prime LeBron James. Kobe Bryant is still very good at this time. And don't forget about his old teammate, Russell Westbrook. And I guess it didn't affect Kevin Durant because they only lost 15 games. And I'm not sure how, but Kevin Durant got MVP over Russell Westbrook, who pretty much played better in my opinion. Yeah, when I look at these players, I'm not sure how he won MVP, but he did it. And speaking of Westbrook earlier, that's the first team the Houston Rockets are going to have to see in the playoffs. And even though the Thunder was able to win game 1 and James Harden wasn't a choke in the playoffs for once, somehow the Rockets found a way to move on to the next round. And then they went on to beat Carmelo Anthony and the Nuggets. But the next opponent they had to face was going to be way tougher. They had to face Kobe Bryant, and he still was in his prime. But it wouldn't matter because somehow they were able to beat him too. And I mean, looking at the roster, it's not the best. I mean, I guess Kevin Durant is carrying them. So they are now in the finals, and they're going to have to face the Detroit Pistons, whose team isn't really that good. I mean, they have Tracy McGrady, but he's not as good as usual. And yeah, like expected, the Rockets are the champion. But unfortunately for the Rockets, Kevin Durant will move on with the Phoenix Suns and continue his career. And with that being said, the Phoenix Suns did get the first pick, and I mean, this should be good. We have a lot of draft classes ready for the simulation. And with the first pick, the Phoenix Suns are going to go ahead and select Kawhi Leonard, as the 76ers get Kyrie Irving, and then the Cavs will get Jimmy Butler. And I'm not sure why they say Kawhi Leonard's from that country, but he's not, but he could be a good help to this team. So let's simulate free agency and see what the Phoenix Suns are looking like. And yeah, they only got worse. If Kevin Durant finds a way to bring this team to a championship, I might have to call him the GOAT. And I am glad to say that this team will see the playoffs. And Kevin Durant didn't have a bad season at all, but the roster is just not good enough to get anywhere in the playoffs. And somehow Kevin Durant did not make the All-NBA first team. And then the greatest player of all time, Russell Westbrook, ends up winning MVP. And Kevin Durant and his squad had to take on the Los Angeles Lakers, and Kobe Bryant was out for revenge. And yeah, like I expected, the Los Angeles Lakers tore the Suns up as they beat the Indiana Pacers to win the championship. But luckily for the Phoenix Suns, Kevin Durant is going to stay on their team for 2 more years. And looks like LeBron's going to stay in Miami. Alright, we're currently overall ranked number 4. Let's see if we get better or worse. And yup, we definitely got worse. I'm not sure why we signed him if he's not getting better. And we also signed a Nay. Yeah, that's literally his name. But let's simulate this season and find out what happens. And I'm scrolling to find our team, and this isn't good. I'm scrolling for a while. Where are we at? Don't tell me we're at the bottom. And oh my gosh, we suck. And looking at things, I didn't get as much from Kevin Durant as I wanted. And Kawhi was a little help, but at the time, he was a defensive first kind of player. And this is probably the worst franchise I've ever documented in my whole entire YouTube career. And I mean, look at this. The Suns don't even have a coach. And I can't wait until Kevin Durant gets out of here in the year, because like last year, the Phoenix Suns didn't do anything, and they're one of the worst defenses in the league. But somehow KD will lead them to the playoffs yet again. And Kevin Durant did indeed have a good season, and to my surprise, this guy named Nikola Margaret was a big help. And despite Kevin Durant's skill, that wasn't enough to win him any awards this year, as LeBron James won MVP. But now in the playoffs, the Phoenix Suns were going to have to deal with a young Stephen Curry, who they would be neck and neck with all series, but at the end of the day, the Phoenix Suns got it done. And then Carmelo Anthony and the Nuggets were the next team in the way. And this time it wasn't even Kevin Durant. It was Kawhi Leonard leading his team to victory as the Suns went on to sweep the Denver Nuggets. But now KD and the Suns had a big task to handle because Russell Westbrook was cooking in the playoffs. But Kevin Durant didn't care. His only focus was getting to the finals so he could win a championship. But unfortunately for the Suns, it was just not able to be done. Westbrook was too good. Kevin Durant even had 62 and they still couldn't win. So unfortunately, Westbrook went on to face the Heat, and he lost to LeBron! But just like Westbrook would be moving on with the Utah Jazz, Kevin Durant would go to the New Jersey Nets, who next year will become the Brooklyn Nets. And the roster is actually solid, so I won't be surprised if they have a good year. And yeah, they ended up being the second best team in the NBA, and I didn't even know they had Tony Parker. He is a legend, man. And Kevin Durant had a solid season, like always, and a breakout year from Chris Middleton, 20 points per game, as the King LeBron himself wins MVP. Hold on, and Nikola Jokic just showing the best stats I've ever seen from a rookie. And to start the playoffs, we had to go up against the Washington Wizards, and their best player wasn't even a 5-star, so we should beat them, right? And yup, we lost to this team, and Kyle Lowry didn't even play that good. We mainly lost because our bench couldn't score to keep our lives, as LeBron would beat the Thunder again for another championship. But this season, the Nets had a plan to get back into the playoffs, because the Nets went and did 2 blockbuster trades, getting Kyrie Irving and Amari Stoudemire. And this is by far the best roster KD has ever gotten. He has to get it done. And yup, just like I expected, the Nets are the number 2 team in the whole entire league, and Kevin Durant's stats are starting to stay the same. I'm not seeing any improvement. And Amari Stoudemire was a big help for us because we haven't had a true big man in a while. And to start off, we had to face the Magic and Bradley Beal, who apparently is the best player in the NBA. But that stuff did not matter at all, as we crushed the Magic. And our next opponent was going to be the Washington Wizards, and I'm really not sure how they keep getting into the playoffs, because even though last time we choked, this time we were locked in. But our little momentum we had, that steered away quickly, because you know the rest. We had to face LeBron James. This is the last year for Kevin Durant and the Nets. This is their last chance to win. Everybody's on a 1-year contract. Bro, I actually love Brook Lopez. He's just my favorite center. He's just such a good player. And I'm not sure if the Pelicans know it yet, but they officially signed the bus. And I'm not sure why you thought this was going to be cinematic, because I hate the Nets. I'm not even sure how our black butts made the 5th seed. And you know it's bad when we're signing players like this. He's too old, man. He's too old. But yeah, I truly can't wait until Kevin Durant gets out of this team. And at least somebody on our team won an award. New York versus New York, or at least that's what it should be. That's on me, guys. Come on, hear me out. But we were able to easily get past the Knicks, and now we have to take on Anthony Davis and the Indiana Pacers. And these teams were neck and neck, and now if the Nets lose, they're going home. Come on, we got this. Irving for 3. Thank you. We need this. We need the win. And they're passing it. Make sure you guard the corner. Don't let George get it. Oh yeah, Stoudemire. Go. Kevin Durant off the screen. Come on, show me something. No, don't let Joe Harris cook. Thank you. We really needed that miss. I really appreciate it, Anthony Davis. All right, he wasn't going to miss the second one, though. All right, New York, let's do it. Season on the line. KD, it's all in his hands. Come on, Kevin Durant. Come on, use the screen. KD, do something. No, don't give it to Kyrie. Come on, Kyrie. No, what are y'all doing? Someone shoot it. Kyrie Irving, is it you? No. What are we doing? And we are officially eliminated from the playoffs. At least I can say we lost to the champs. But I'm very happy to say that KD will be playing with the number 1 player in the whole entire NBA, Stephen Curry. But they want to just have Kevin Durant and Curry, because they will also bring in the number 2 player in the whole entire league, Bradley Beal. So if this coaching staff brought in all these players and they still can't win, I'm gonna crash out. And looks like you guys won't have to feel my wrath, because Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and Bradley Beal balled out. But the one that would end up getting MVP was Stephen Curry, and Kevin Durant was the league's best bucket getter. And I know if we grind and play hard, we will win the finals. And the first team that was going to be standing in our way was Cat and the Los Angeles Clippers. But we were able to sweep them and go to triple overtime with them to get the dub. But the next team we had to face was no joke, because you see they had Russell Westbrook, D Wade, and the fat Jokic. But I guess our big 3 was way more legit than theirs, and we ended up sweeping the Jazz. And I mean, nobody could beat us in the West, so we ended up going to the finals, and what cinema, we had to face LeBron. And his team was stacked with Damian Lillard and Jimmy Butler, but don't forget about our team, because ours was stacked too. Because just like last series, it would end up being a back and forth battle, but the Warriors, if they grinded hard enough, they had a chance to end it at 6. But unfortunately for the Golden State Warriors, LeBron and his Cleveland Cavaliers were just not going to allow that to be done. So now here we are, this whole entire series, everything you've been watching comes down to what I'm about to click right here. Once I click this will decide who wins it all. And as you can see, the Golden State Warriors will win the championship, led by Kevin Durant, and it's just beautiful. He will win Finals MVP also. And it just all looked great. This was one of the most beautiful wins I've ever seen in my whole entire YouTube career. But that would all come to an end very quickly, because with Bradley Beal now going to the Charlotte Hornets, Andre Bakajagis deciding to retire, and Kevin Durant slowly but surely is entering his unk stage, the Golden State Warriors overall it dropped drastically, and that led us to only being able to be mid. And I mean, Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry were good, but like everybody else on the team was terrible. But it really hurts to see someone leave your team and then win MVP the next season. And in the first round of the playoffs, we should have an easy one because we're facing a prime Capella as their best player, but him and his team would humble us. And tell me why he's shooting threes. But LeBron, still on the Cavs, would win another finals MVP. And I mean, at this rate, LeBron's been going crazy. But you know what else is crazy? The fact that you've been watching this whole video, but you still not subscribed. And I just have a feeling Stephen Curry is not going to re-sign with the Warriors. And yeah, I just knew it. He went to the Atlanta Hawks with Joel, I think I broke my knee, and Embiid. But I don't blame him. This team sucks. As soon as this season's over, Kevin Durant is getting up out of here. So let's just get ready to see how bad we play this year. And yup, we were beyond terrible. I don't know what to say. And Kevin Durant, what the heck? 4 points per game? Are you kidding me? He's probably the main reason why we lost so many games. You can't mean to tell me that Evan Fournier can score more points than him. But just like I expected, he hopped on a new team and he was able to find a ring. And let's be honest, this season was a complete wash. But at least the play-in tournament is available, so it should be easier to get in. But Kevin Durant joined the Thunder now, and this team isn't very good either. And I hope the Thunder understand that drafting Desmond Bane isn't going to do that. They shouldn't trade the picks for some players, because when you don't do this, you end up mediocre and barely make the play-in. But at least Kevin Durant went out this year, even though he's having a repaired Achilles. And we're the 10th seed, and with Kevin Durant being hurt, I don't think there's no way we win, but let's simulate and find out. Norman Powell able to lead us to victory with 23-9. And if Norman Powell can beat this team, what if he's on a generational run right now, guys? Come on, they could win it. They could.
Nope.
And I just find it very disappointing that we couldn't even make it into the playoffs. But at least Kevin Durant improved from that 4 points he averaged last season. And looks like it's the Curry era, because they're just going to keep giving him MVP. And the Cleveland Cavaliers on a generational run. And seeing how old LeBron is now just really makes me think of how long we've been doing this for. But it looks like the OKC Thunder is going to get the first pick. Please don't choke this up. And what are we doing? We got a 4.5 star when there was 2 5 stars right there. But the fact that we got Giannis Antetokounmpo makes up for it way much more. And I feel like this team could be very good in the future, but KD wants to win now. And his dreams might come true because the Thunder are the 4th seed. And Giannis was a good help to the team because he ended up averaging a nice stat line. And this is the first time in about a decade that I saw someone win the Hustle Award. And looks like KD's gonna get All-NBA first team. And Devin Booker MVP, he would never play for the Raptors though. So now here we are, KD and the Thunder have to face a young Jaylen Brown. And I didn't even know this, but they also had Bam Adebayo, but it wouldn't matter because KD is just too tough. But our next opponent wasn't a joke because it was the San Antonio Spurs, and they were out for blood because they didn't take game 1, game 2, game 3, but 4 games straight sweeping us. But yet again, at least I can say we lost to the champs. And unfortunately for you OKC fans, Giannis Antetokounmpo did not want to be there. And you know New York has a lot of money, so they were able to take Norman Powell from us. So let's get ready for another bad season by the Thunder. I mean, we are just terrible. I'm tired of it. But Kevin Durant did play pretty good. And I'm not even sure how we got through the play-in, but now we have to face the Spurs, and you knew how that went. And we did get swept to them again, but remember, they are the champs 2 times in a row now. And I know this has nothing to do with anything, but why is he 14 feet 7? What the heck is going on, Hoopland? Yeah, I gotta get out of this sun. And look at this. We're about to start the Wemby era. Kevin Durant is officially UNC now. And just like usual, the Thunder didn't make any changes. We only got worse. So like expected, we didn't even make the playoffs. And Kevin Durant didn't play that bad, but he keeps getting hurt and it's increasing his digression. And then this season was even worse. How do you go 12-70? And this is by far the worst starting lineup I've ever seen. And Kevin Durant, it might be time to hang it up soon, because this is a new era and SGA is now hanging charge of it. But at least the Oklahoma City Thunder did good things in the draft and got some good players, because this draft class is stacked. And you can obviously tell that Kevin Durant doesn't belong there, because a team in the future cannot win. 19-63. But finally, after all this hard work, Kevin Durant decided it was time to retire. And he will probably go down as one of the best players in NBA history.